What is up, loyal lads and ladies? My name is Midnight Wolf, and welcome to the next episode of Space Engineers Life Among the Voxels. So, in today's episode, my game plan is to kind of work on redesigning the garage, and really more specifically, the garage connector system. For now, I'm going to only focus on keeping the connector at the same height that it's currently at. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the floor a little bit so that way I can raise up the car using the jacks that I have installed on it, and that way we can actually line them up properly. Now, it does technically work in the current state, but
Fuel critical.
it doesn't look right because the connectors don't line up, and I want this to be kind of realistic as much as we possibly can. So I think it would just look better if I can actually adjust the height of the car to where it will actually line up properly. Because like right now, so you could see it's connected properly. However, I'm going to make it to where the jack stands are what helps align it to the connector there, and eventually, and we might even get to it today, because it shouldn't take long to lower this floor to that. We could also see about getting some of these structures integrated into this system, so that way everything is actually built like within the walls of the actual structure, and then that will give me access to this exit here. So one thing that I did slightly off camera was I did deform a lot of the landscape that was clipping through the walls here. So I went ahead and took creative liberties there to go ahead and kind of clean it up a little bit, get the light on. See, it was basically like this, but it was like all over the place along the edges. So I just cleaned it up and got it kind of prepared. We'll have to probably do a little bit more of the digging to get it down further, but let's go ahead and get the car out of the way. So 2 unlocks it, so I should be able to just drive it off, and it should be, I think it's not fully charged, but it's charged enough to where we'll be able to make use of it later. Now, I have noticed one thing, that this truck does seem to be a little bit more susceptible to rolling. I had a bit of an issue with that off camera, and I don't know if it's just because the jacks are dragging against the ground. It doesn't look like they should be, but it does seem to be more susceptible to flipping over. I'm not sure what that's all about, but
Fuel critical.
but hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. I do like having this connector here, because now I realize I can actually remove a lot of things from the rest of the car. Like I could grab all this stuff, which is really nice, and I could load it up into here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna hold on to steel plates because we're gonna have to design the floor, or at least build out the floor to this. So I need to have some steel plates on me. In fact, I'll go ahead and just grab all of these if it would let me. Oh, that's on the assembler. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like that's all we have. So I'll go ahead and grab those off of the assembler. So I should be able to just grab it from here. Yeah, here we go. So I think that will work. I did this off camera, and it was mainly just so I could actually claim a couple of structures that I forgot to claim on this building. Like this was something that I needed to claim, and it required me to build an O2H2 generator, which I don't know much about it just yet, but I will probably just dismantle it for now. I just did it literally just so I could actually claim that AC unit or whatever it's called. Oh, that's a big stutter. Whew. Let me make sure the recording is still going. Okay, we're good. That's one thing. So I am using OBS Studio to do my recordings now. The first 4 or 5 episodes were all on just using the NVIDIA screen capture, but I have a lot more control with the audio if I use OBS. The problem is one of the reasons why I kind of put streaming on hold is it's been crashing a lot, and I don't know if I just need to update some things on OBS, but it I don't know. It's kind of a volatile program to use. Another thing that I realized that I needed to hack was this control panel because it was still linked to the original owners of this facility. So that was that. But we'll get this thing kind of squared away. Eventually, my kind of midterm plan is to actually turn this into like an elevator, and then I could have it line up level with the floor, and then you could drive on it, and then lower the elevator down to an area where it would be like a little like a garage within a garage, if you will, and that would be where I could store all of my ground vehicles, and it'd be kind of like a fancy, like rich person's like special garage full of rides and vehicles and whatnot. You know, it'd be kind of like that vibe. So that's, or at least what I'm gonna try to achieve with this. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start grinding some of this structure. So these are blast doors. Interesting. Oh, I could go ahead and... So I guess it's only giving me steel plates. Okay. Right on. Here we go. I'm probably gonna have to, because I need this to be pretty gradual since this is a pretty big ride. So I'll probably need to start the incline here. So yeah, I'll just destroy up to this point.
Inventory full.
And we're already full on inventory. Let me go ahead and place scrap metal in there. I think I could just do, I could probably put like, or leave little around 200 of the steel plates in my inventory, because we're gonna get a decent amount of that back just by dismantling. All right, look at that. Nice. Okay, so I need to now switch to this, and we're gonna just kind of start breaking this up. And before I do that, I probably should just go ahead and put it all in there, because we're gonna probably fill up on a lot of resources, which we could go ahead and start having convert into...
Fuel
Oh,
critical.
wrong button. We can start having it converted into ingots from using the oh, I just broke my broke my structure there. Gotta be more careful, I suppose. So anyways, yeah, I'll be working on this. I'll get this floor kind of squared away, at least lowered down at least 1 block. I think 1 block should be more than enough to get this lined up properly for now. And then once we get better like equipment to dig down deeper a lot faster, then we'll actually eventually turn this into a an elevator, which will be really nice. So let's go ahead, and I think I could still, yeah, have access to that. Let's just kind of dump all of this in here. Oh, that's all I can do. Nice. Okay, I'll just dump all of this stuff in here then. That should be fine. I think I can actually have the assembler Can it craft those? No, it can't. The refinery might, though. Right? So I need to put that in the refinery. Refinery, where are you? Here, oh, it's right there, right at the top. Oh, where did it go? I guess maybe it already crafted it? I'm confused. Well, we're not gonna do that. So anyways, yeah, but we'll be back after I get this floor lowered, and that'll be good. So just stay tuned for that. So I just kind of went ahead and put this here just so I could actually get up and also to see how much further down we need to go, which doesn't seem like we have a whole lot left to do here. Looks like just kind of get this big mound out of here. Also need to make sure I repair all these blocks before I damage too much of them, because I need to be able to make sure that I can repair them. I'll have to get that fixed in regards to its color at some point. But yeah, this is looking good. We're almost there, and I know some people will probably be like, hey, you do know you could just right click and it'll be a lot faster. I could, but I'm also trying to be very efficient with the resources that I have available to me. So a bit like probably soon after this, and maybe even in this episode, I might begin scouting out for resources, and going around and locating different things like iron. Like really, I really need iron really bad, so that would be good to start refining, and getting a lot of ingots, so that way we could actually start building a lot of structures. Let me just go ahead and weld this up real quick while I've got the materials on me, free up some inventory space. So yeah, that's kind of my game plan though, is to get this done today, and then also we could probably take the ride out to see if we can't do a little bit of resource scouting. So I think that'd be a really good thing, and maybe during that drive we can kind of talk about kind of my plans for what I would like to get accomplished while we're at it. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. I really love this game. Like honestly, I'm surprised I did not buy this game sooner. So but yeah, this is gonna be great. So but yeah, I'll be back whenever I get this fully ready, to be able to drive up in here. So you guys, I'll see you guys on the other side. Ah! Aren't you? Okay. While I'm at it, go ahead and build this up. And we'll see where the next slope piece goes. Looks like this is there. So if I go there, I think that should be enough space in that place right there. So that should be about the height that we need. Can I place this down low? Not yet. Looks like I need to drill out just a little bit more. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick, and yeah, we're rocking and rolling. So I'll just go ahead and let's get that block placed.
Energy low.
And I'll go ahead and place these blocks, even though I probably don't need them here. I think it would still be good if it'll place. There we go. I think it'll still be good to get into the habit of kind of building up the structures, even if it's not really going to be seen necessarily, just because for strength purposes, it'll be good to be able to have voids and stuff filled in so as like extra protection. Not that anything would attack from the ground, although space worms would be an interesting addition. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But no, this will be good though. Now I got to figure out how I want to get out of this. I might have to put a temporary ramp just so I can get out. Ooh, I may not be able to get out. Oh, here we go. Whew. That was a little scary. All right, so yeah, let's put that there. Get out of this area. Grab that. And let's just kind of... Oh, I totally forgot to... All right. Can I get up that? We're learning. 4... Let's see. 3. Let's go ahead and weld this up. All right. And now I can go ahead and put the temporary ramp, get up. There we go. Now I should be able to. And I probably should have filled that in that void. However, I mean, there will be something underneath this anyway, so I'll be fine. I know I keep going back on what I'm thinking, but I think it'll be all right for now. I'll get it. It'll definitely get built down at some point whenever we build our elevator. All right, so now I should be able to... Oh, that's... I wonder if I can somehow... Yeah, that's gonna be a problem there. I'll grind this down. Maybe I can get this. Oh! My. There we go. That did some damage. Alright, here we go. Now I should be able to place that block there. I'll need to place that block there. And fix that one. Fix any of these that are broken. These all are good. Build these up. There we go.
No energy.
No, oh, snap. My energy just plummeted. Hey, I only did that for my achievement there. All right, there we go. So now, cool. So that's interesting. I was under the impression that if you lost energy, then your health plummets, which it still might, but it looks like it mainly just keeps you from being able to build. So that's an interesting concept. Speaking of which, I know that they are eventually... They're eventually going to make it to where you can grow food and maybe even harvest water, because they have a sneak peek of a crop plots that you can place down. So that'll be interesting to see how they integrate that. And from my understanding, it's going to be like a separate survival game mode. At least that's what it sounds like. So, like if we choose to have to eat and drink, it sounds like we'll actually be required to do that in that separate game mode. But if you want to play Space Engineers in its like normal form, it sounds like you'll be able to still play in its current state before or without the hunger and thirst, which seems interesting. Now, water, I don't know if this is confirmed, but it looks like crop plots will be a thing, which kind of implies that you'll be able to grow food. Now, I'm curious, and I've actually, I know like people on YouTube are a little worried about that sort of thing, like as another status bar that you've got to worry about. I've actually commented an idea that I'm curious how others would respond to, that I think would be an interesting compromise. Like maybe instead of it being like a straight up, you eat whatever and that is what keeps your character alive, rather it gives you buffs and debuffs to your character. So maybe there's like a buff where your energy goes down at a slower rate, but then you get a debuff that, I don't know, maybe you weigh or you're not able to carry as much stuff, like you're overweight and that's like temporarily, stuff like that. Or maybe you're not able to fly in your jetpack as fast because you ate this food and whatever, some silly little give and takes. I think would be really cool. So now I should be able to build in the base assembler. Excuse me. Some steel plates, right? Yeah, there we go. So let's get those going. And then hopefully we'll get that taken care of. Cannot withdraw the necessary ones, which is to be expected. But we can at least get a good chunk of these done. And then go from there. There we go. All right, cool. So now we've got this down, and I guess before we go any further, we need to make sure that this will even fit there. And I totally forgot to put the parking brake on. I think another good thing that would be nice to do as a future project is expanding this balcony thing to where I don't have to turn as sharply. All right, I think that's gonna be perfect. Let's look at the backup cam here. Yeah, so now I could go right there. And is that going to, okay, so yeah, we're good there. We got plenty of space. So I can then back up. All right, let's get kind of lined back up. So yeah, I think that's going to work out perfectly. So I don't know how close I've got to be where the pistons are going to line up. Maybe like right there. Maybe like the only thing that I'm concerned about is the pistons. If I get too close to the back, will that scrape it and cause some weird jank? Or I think the proper terminology within the space engineers community is clang. Is that the right terminology? uh, get lined up here. So yeah, this is looking good. Now the big question is, will we be able to get out? Okay, yeah, we can get out easily. Good. Okay. So this is looking good. So now I should be able to line this up, hopefully, and get it into position better. That's probably as good as it's gonna get. So now I'm curious,
Fuel critical.
how do I want to go about? I know I can limit the
Fuel critical.
I could set limits to the jack stands. I'm wondering if I could just do them all in this setting, which looks like I can since they're all grouped together. So I want to set a max distance. Let's try 0.5 meters. I don't know what that's gonna look like. We'll see how much it raises up. All right. See what that looks like. How close are we to being lined up? We're actually pretty close. So it looks like if I go just a little bit higher up, we'll be pretty close to being lined up. So let's go back into the settings. Control. Jack. So that's minimum distance. Oh, did I do the maximum distance? Oh, I did the wrong one. This one. Oh. Really? So I'm already maxed out. Really? So I'm gonna have to maybe I should make it a half block then. Which if I do a half block, that might just line up without the jack stands. But I do still like the jack stands on there. Interesting. So it's still not. Let's see how close we are. I want to actually put some actual eyes on this. So we'll go ahead and raise this up. Oh. There we go. I'll just hit that really fast, and then it'll jump up, and then I can hit the lock button, and it'll lock into place. That would be pretty intuitive. All right, so let's see how close that looks. Oh man, so close. Yeah, I think we will have to turn these into maybe half blocks. Maybe remove this layer here, and it'll be at this height, I think. I think that'll work. I really want to figure out how to assign these to the hotbar or the toolbar or whatever you want to call that. I think that would be really nice because then I can just click the button I can set it up to where they will only go to a certain distance, and then I can just literally tap the button and it'll raise up and put it into place. But I think that looks good though. I think that looks really cool. So I need computers for that. How much damage did we cause? Looks like that's still in good shape. Looks like it's not really messing anything up. So we're good on everything. Except for I just got to get this raised up. So let me get this car out of here, and then we'll go from there. And let's destroy this. Now back. And boom! Haha. All right, yeah, this is looking good. Just a nice little pit. Ooh, I'll have to probably add like a ramp here or something, or I guess, I mean, it might be okay. I'll definitely have to do something about that. It looks like that's just dead space, so I might can move this whole thing over. Now it makes it to where it doesn't really line up with our stairs very well, but eventually these stairs will go even further down, so not too much. We'll get that figured out at some point. But this I think will be good. Now let's see how much this actually lines up. Oops. Okay. Oh. So it definitely looks like I am still lower, which is good. That's what I wanted. Just got to get this lined up perfectly. There we go. That looks good. I mean, it's probably as lined up as it's gonna get. And now I should be able to just go to the control panel and let's see how much we need to limit this. So I'm gonna drop it down to 1 meter, and we'll go ahead and raise it up a little bit at a healthy speed this time. So it looks like I can probably go up a little bit higher. Let's see what that looks like.
Fuel critical.
Oh man, so close. Like, I could probably go just a little bit more. Or you know, go down just a little bit more, and I think we got it. And once again, I do want to reiterate, I know I don't necessarily have to do this, because they do like actually connect fairly fine, but wait, is that not? Oh, that's just going up. I think we'll try 0.2, and then we'll go back up. So let's go down and then go back up. All right, let's see what that looks like.
Fuel critical.
Oh, that is perfect. Perfectly lined up. I think that looks really cool. And plus, having it raised up like this, I think if I lock it...
Fuel critical.
Right? If I lock it... then... I might... I'm curious. How much... Okay. So if I deleted the middle... those wouldn't be... okay. I was gonna say, because if I deleted the middle, I could have like a little maintenance shaft underneath, and that would be kind of cool. But I don't know if that's going to work out too great. But because that's locked, I think if I go to this and actually lower, yeah, it stays in place. That's cool.
Fuel critical.
So it's actually floating because it's connected. That's really neat. I like that. And it looks like it's meant to be that way, as opposed to just like haphazardly being connected. I like that. I think that, you know, it's not necessary to do this, but I think aesthetically it looks great. So that's why we went ahead and did this. And I think this is great. I think this is a great addition. Now I just got to go through and match the paint on all of this, and it'll be good to go. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and lower the pistons. Oh,
Fuel critical.
because whenever I lower this, I don't want it to just suddenly drop, because that would probably not be healthy for the vehicle. So we'll go ahead and lower those back down, so it'll actually have a softer landing. But I can let this charge for a bit,
Fuel critical.
and I can go ahead and spool up a bunch of things to be crafting. I'll probably paint this at a later time, because that's not very important to do. I think on camera. I can paint that off camera. That's not a big thing.
Fuel
And we're good to
critical.
go. All right. I mean, minus the antenna, which I'll need to get researched to be able to do anything. But look at that. Like, that looks cool. Like, I really like it. I think that's a nice upgrade. And we've got a bunch of different materials mapped out that we can go mine in the future. Like, this is great. I do want to maybe head in that direction a little bit, but still try to avoid the dome over there. And maybe we can even go uphill and see if we can find stuff, but maybe that'll be something in the next couple of episodes as we go and look for an ice lake. I think that would be something that we really need to get our hands on relatively quickly. And there may even be an ice lake at the bottom of this. So, but we'll get that all sorted and figured out. But I think this is a great area to end the episode. So, and I'm gonna try to start something now where, with it being the end of the day, end of the episode, if I can get to the right spot here. This is gonna be my bedroom. End of the day, get into the bed as we fade off. Our consciousness is going to fade out. We're going to I don't know where I'm going with this. So anyways, I really do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch this. If you did like this stuff, please like the video. It helps with the whole YouTube algorithm. If the more people like these sort of things, it helps this stuff become more available to other people. And if you want to be notified of when this stuff goes live, definitely feel free to subscribe. That is a very useful tool, and to you guys to be able to have access to this content whenever it does go live, and it is completely free. So if you do enjoy this kind of stuff, I'm here for you guys, and I do appreciate every bit of you guys taking the time out of your day to watch me and my shenanigans. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Bye.